Hey everybody, it's that time of the week again. Coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Here in the Al Grierson studio. There's some of the old albums. How many do you have? Collect them all. Trade them with friends. Here's my aphorism. Oh my God, the collection of poetry has arrived. There's Spider John, that's our mascot. Oh my God, look, I no longer have New Jersey plates on my car. I have Texas plates. I guess that means I have arrived. Hey, how you doing? If you would like to support me or this broadcast, you can do so at paypal.com/baldchandler or venmo.com/the Chris Chandler Show. Or you could go to patreon.com/the Chris Chandler Show and be a continuing contributor. Oh, show me some love. Hit the love button, it will come back to you in infinity. Don't hit the anger button. Hey, Tom, you're actually catching it live. How about that? Hit that love button, it will come back to you in infinity. Don't hit the anger button, we got plenty of that going around. Here we go, as promised, the poem of the week. We have been listening to Pete Weiss and the Weistronauts. This week's poem of the week is, well, wait a second. It's not really a poem at all. It's really more of a story. Why do you call it the poem of the week? I mean, I don't really write poetry. It's really more prose, but see, there I digress already. I promised I wouldn't babble too much at the beginning of these things, but there you go. I think poem is poetic for any of these musings. But let me start over. This week's poem of the week is some thoughts prompted to, but not necessarily related to the Neil Young versus Joe Rogan kerfluffle over Spotify. I think that Spotify has turned itself into the Chick-fil-A of music, or maybe the Hobby Lobby. And since it's the misinformation mogul versus the guy that wrote Southern Man, which is actually a Canadian pop song with misinformation that overlooks and even dismisses the hard work and tremendous achievements of civil rights workers in the South, I thought I would set this little tale in the Deep South, where I am from, which is, by the way, my favorite oxymoron, the Deep South. It's up there with Marijuana Initiative. But I digress. Let me start this thing. There seems to be about a 15-second delay. Tell us the story, Chandler. Tell us the story. Go ahead, type it out on the keyboard. Don't just say it out loud. Tell us the story, Chandler. There seems to be like a 15-second delay between when I say something and you actually type it. Why is that? I want instant nostalgia. Say, tell us the story, Chandler. Hey, Steve, how you doing? You're a regular listener, and I certainly appreciate that. Seeing some like buttons. Hey, Judy Heyman, I will tell you a story. Thanks for asking. Opening line. Eli Whitney was an asshole. It's not true. Not even close. He wasn't an asshole. He was actually quite brilliant. But nonetheless, I heard that all my life growing up in Georgia. Well over 2 centuries after he started his little business in a friend's garage, people are still disparaging his name, saying Eli Whitney was an asshole. As if everybody still owed him money or something. Or maybe they do. Sort of like Spotify owing me money. Ever since Daniel Ek and Martin Lorenzen first started tinkering with Spotify in a garage in Sweden in 2006, it grew from a garage business to more than 172 million premium subscribers, worth billions of dollars. That said, when I first decided that I wanted to write on this topic, I wanted that to be the opening line. Eli Whitney was an asshole. So I kept it, which does not make me a good writer. It just makes me loyal to bad ideas, such as the very bad idea of trying to make a living doing some weird performance art on an online weekly show, being viewed by 12. Thank you, 12 people. Hi, John, how you doing? Nonetheless, I was excited. I was. When I got my first Spotify check for a song called, yes, Eli Whitney Was an Asshole, I got 100,000 plays, and I got a check for 21 cents. Now, how could that be? Hell, they don't even put the cents character on the typewriter anymore. You got to type Option Alt 4 just to get the cents character. It takes more effort than leaning over and picking up a penny, which no one does anymore. Hell, I don't, and I'm broke. I do this for a living. The thing is, when I tried to deposit my 21-cent royalty check, I only had 17 cents on my account to begin with. And when I had the bank charged me a 50-cent deposit fee, I wound up overdrawn. Then I got a $25 bounce check charge on top of it, and I have less money than if I'd never gotten paid by Spotify at all. But with online media, a penny has a very different meaning. Remember, it's like Richard Pryor as the villain in Superman 3 or Superman I for the very self-absorbed. See, I grew up in Georgia, where John is from. I grew up in Georgia, and Whitney's name has been synonymous with my state forever. To refresh your memory, he's the guy that is most famous for inventing the cotton gin. No, that is not a method of distilling cotton plants to make bathtub gin, but I digress. You see, back then, we're talking the late 1700s here, the latter part of the second Washington administration, which was in New York City because there was no Washington, D.C. But I digress. Back then, cotton was little more than a weed. It grew anywhere and everywhere. But the thing is, nobody knew what to do with it. Sure, if you could get the seed out, you could spin it into a yarn, sort of like I'm spinning a yarn right now. But even with all the, free labor, you still could not turn a profit with it. But Eli Whitney, a drunk, unemployed Yankee, crashing on the couch of his schoolmate near Savannah, had an idea. It was just a few things laying around the house. Whitney created a very simple machine that could remove the seed from a cotton ball. He figured it out in a week. And with one turn of the crank, one man made a steadfast weed the most profitable plant in the country, in the world. Cotton plantations sprang up overnight. Southern cotton farmers were the richest people on earth. White gold, black sweat and tears. You see, slavery is not at all what he had in mind. Before the cotton gin, the institution of slavery was on the decline and about to die out. He actually thought the cotton gin would end slavery altogether. Once these plantations started making money, surely they'd start paying the help, right? Right? However, the opposite happened. In a few short years, the number of slaves in the United States went from 500,000 to 4 million by 1810. Plantations were now worth billions. No. I am not equating poorly paid musicians with slavery, so just stop it. I know somebody's going to say that. I am talking about the cotton gin and how that led to slavery. You see, in a few short years, Spotify has gone public and is worth billions while paying its artists dozens. Even with a copyright, you can't get paid, and the local, state, or federal government will not help collect royalties. It's like the people of the South would not pay Eli Whitney for royalties, nor would any state, local, or federal government help collect royalties, even if they were making millions on his artistry. Now keep in mind here, Sean Parker, the guy who started Napster, the first file-sharing site that ripped off millions of artists for untold amounts of money, now sits on the board of Spotify. And he was a consultant for Pandora and Groove Shark, and he has a personal net worth of $2.7 billion. The problem Whitney had was that he made his first cotton gin with stuff laying around the house, which meant that anybody could make one. And before he could even get it registered with the country's brand new patent office, people were already pirating their own cotton gins. And even with this patent, he could not get anybody to pay him. And he tried lawsuits, payment plans, licensing, everything. Even though poor hardscrabble farms turned into plantations overnight, no one wanted to pay him. And he went broke trying to fight for his copyrights. Until the good people of the South simply ran him out of town. And that's too bad, because he was happy in the South. He would have stayed. Instead, he went back north and started a new project. And the good people of the South were happy to see him go. Be careful what you wish for, Spotify. Be careful what you wish for. Because Eli Whitney went back to Massachusetts, where he had another idea. He developed the concept of interchangeable parts for rifles, the Springfield rifle. Yes, he invented the assembly line, and the country amassed its first arsenal. Now, if he had stayed in the South, where he was perfectly happy, that arsenal would have been in the South. And if you had paid Eli Whitney what he was worth, be careful what you wish for, Spotify. Because if the South had paid Eli Whitney what he was worth, he would have stayed there. And we would not have had a Springfield rifle. We would have a Savannah rifle. And the odds are that Civil War thing would have certainly gone the other way. Oh, hell, if you had gotten in the habit of paying for the help, like you, Spotify, that Civil War thing might not have happened at all. Don't get me wrong here. I know that artists have been getting ripped off ever since Zog painted the first picture of Og throwing a spear at a woolly mammoth, showing everyone how to do it. But we are at the crossroads of a new world of ideas, because it was not video that killed the radio star. It was the internet. But to tell you the truth, I don't really like radio stars anyway. So what we have before us is a whole new platform of opportunity. What if you made the musicians happy? Collectively, we are a powerful force. What if instead every day you had some stars like Taylor Swift and Jay-Z and now Neil Young and Joni Mitchell singing songs against you? You had them singing, "Join us." Don't pay misinformation moguls like Joe Rogan disproportionately. I know this Neil Young squabble has more to do with misinformation than royalties, but it clearly shines a light on the subject. What if you let us help you by paying us? It's a carrot and the stick thing. You show me a carrot, and I'll put down my stick. Oh, and by the way, I spell carrot with a K. There you have your poem of the week. Stick around for a second and we will have your moment of spin. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on. Hang around for your moment of spin. Thank you for listening. Hi, Ella Jo Miller. How you doing? I see that you are watching. Let's see what's going on. My stuff is currently in a shipping container, meandering its way down the thin highways of fat America. Included in that will be the Jim Alberti Theater, which has been dismantled brick by brick, board by board, and rebuilt, going to be rebuilt right here in the Al Grierson studio in Austin, Texas. I am going to California in May with Paul Benoit. We are participating in the Call of the Wild, a Jack London themed festival presented by John Elliott. And I am booking dates in the Bay Area, Santa Cruz, and maybe Northern California stuff. If you or anyone you know would like to present us, please direct message me. Our new album, working title Meek Rising, will be out by then. And I am going to be participating in the 50th Kerrville Folk Festival somehow, just not sure exactly how. I am still looking for a local music partner here in Austin, so when things open up, we can wax the Manifesto Electric on small stages, driveways, backyards right here in Austin. If you have any ideas, please direct message me. Thank you, as always, for your support. You can be a continuing contributor at patreon.com/The Chris Chandler Show, paypal.com/Chris Chandler, or venmo.com/The Chris Chandler Show. And now it is time for your moment of spin. We got 3 of them. Give me a number between 1 and 3. A number between 1 and 3. Go ahead. I know there's a little delay here, so I'm just going to be patient. A number between 1 and 3. Hi, Lisa Goodwin, watching from the UK. Irina says 7, but that's not between 1 and 3. Tom King says 1. We'll make this one number 1. And I need a picture. Hi, Danielle. Steve, I need a number between 1 and 130. A number between 1 and 130. And we will have your moment of spin. It says, observations from a 24-hour laundromat. Tracy Joe says number 5. Well, Steve, you've already got one of the books. You can open up your hymnal and turn with me to page number 5. Freedom is giving credit to the space bar as one of the letters in the alphabet. Thank you so much for watching. This has been your Poem of the Week.